Hey Ed, how are you?
Running and got it. How are you? Back to Frankfurt.
But how's the charter
In education. That's a great art. Yeah, I'm still there, but I mean, they said they got the best. I hate the way they're doing it.
Did you see what this girl said about kindergarten?
Yeah.
I kind of
He's mad because people are saying stuff. You got
I love that too.
That's right. It's good work.
And converse.
Whatever works. But there's no shower.
Hey, Glenn.
I like that there. Thank you. How are you? Not bad. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. All right. Well, good. Good. Hey, introduce me to Michelle. At this table here.
Popular program.
Yep.
St. Peter played.
So went over to Arizona. The point is, that guy comes in. I saw that. Whether it's a it's a
So it's kind of a reset.
He's doing this. I guess that's. I'd like to call the Florence Rotary to our meeting today. A little bit different here. I'd like to thank everybody and welcome everyone to being here today. I heard a quote once that said, "The future of democracy depends on how we educate our youth." Sarah, Tara, Lauren, and Michelle, we pause today to say thank you. And this is very personal for me today. And I love baseball. And in baseball, you can hit what they call the cycle, which is a single, double, triple, and a home run. So I'm an active member of St. Paul's. So we have our single and double with our two teachers there. My son was the first one to graduate from Erpenbeck. He was the first student to go K through 5. Then my two oldest boys were graduates of Cooper High School, were the first students there. So we appreciate everything you do for us. Joanne, we appreciate you coming out of retirement and being our principal at St. Paul's. Barb, if you could come up and lead us in the 4-way test.
First, we're going to do a Teacher of the Year prayer. Loving God, bless the teachers who point their minds and guide their thoughts, share their achievements and advise their faults, inspire a love of knowledge and truth as they light the path which leads our youth. For our future brightens with each lesson you teach, each smile you lengthen, each goal you help reach. For the dawn of each poet, each philosopher and king begins with a teacher and the wisdom they bring. Amen. Could everyone turn around and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And something we do in Rotary is called the 4-way test, and we try to live our lives this way. So the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, second, third, fourth. Thank you. Sean Carroll is going to be our MC for our event today. He also is our Sergeant of Arms. I'm not sure if he has any Sergeant of Arms words to say, but take it away, Sean.
Thank you, Barb. Welcome, everyone. Beautiful day. We're second day of spring, something like that. Beautiful outside. Love everybody being here. It's great. One of the things with Sergeant at Arms, we introduce a few visitors. We have with us Adam Kunzman. Adam, you want to stand and wave and tell, there you are. Welcome to the Florence Rotary. Dave Eakey, where's Dave? Welcome, Dave, to the Florence Rotary. Sometimes I let them talk for a while, but since we have a big group, I'm shutting that down. So Jordan Turner's back with us. Where's Jordan? She's absolutely awesome. Welcome back, Jordan. Oh, you're going to join. Okay. All right, I won't. Get her check, will you, Gary? And Dottie Dawson back with us from Central Bank. Welcome back, Dottie. It was nice of Dwayne to sit there and talk about all the contacts with the school. I could tell you that St. Paul's, my ears weren't this big. When I went there, the good nuns made them a lot bigger. They had that secret thing where they made you wait for about a half hour before you had to go talk to sister. And that was never, the wait was always worse than the other thing. So, and then it's all with public schools. I was on the school board for 8 years, part of getting Erpenbeck built. So I didn't have anybody go through there, but my name's probably on a plaque in the janitor's office by now. But it's great to be here. We also like to make sure that we tell everybody about we get sports out from, because that's some of our relief, especially what's going on in other parts of the country. Glory to Ukraine. But so we had my Kentucky Wildcats were in a tournament last week, not for very long. And yes, it's my understanding that John Calipari went to see St. Peter and it didn't work out very well. But we did have positive news. We had some big bingo signings. We've got some very large human beings that are going to come to Cincinnati. And that way we don't have to worry about Joe Burrow. Actually, before those human beings showed up this week, we were going to have Steak Burrow here for this reception. So I apologize, but all the guys ate the Steak Burrow before this. Then we have, we also have we do have a local team still in a tournament. It's the NIT. It's Xavier versus Vanderbilt. So that'll be a great academic recall team meeting tonight. So we're glad for that. It's always my pleasure to be here on honoring teachers, because it's one of those things, and all of us have someone that we can recall that was very instrumental in our lives. And it was, you know, whether it was kidding about the nuns, you know, at St. Paul's, but they would also throw the kickball back off the roof so we could keep playing. So it was, you gained a lot of contact with folks good in those days. And when I went on to Boone County High School, I always like to tell everybody that was kind of the eight best years of my life in high school. So I got to know a lot of different classmates as they kept going through. But that one is always one of my favorites. But there are people in my lives, especially a guy named Coach Jim Connor, that made a very significant imprint on my heart. And a lot of him was about service and faith and education and making people around you better. So the guys, the way you do it in here and what you've been through in the last couple of years with this at home, not at home learning, it's been a real challenge, and you guys are real heroes to make that happen. So we're very grateful that you kept that going. It's also my honor to introduce a few special guests today. We have Mr. Matt Turner with us. Matt, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Matt's the superintendent of Boone County Schools and our superintendent for the Diocese of Covington, Kendra McGuire. Welcome, Kendra. Boone County Judge Executive Gary Moore and a member of Rotary. Welcome, Gary. Ed Massey, Kentucky State Representative. Welcome, Ed. Ed's very involved in education, and it's been a passion of his for many years. So we're glad he's down there helping us out. John Schickel couldn't be with us today. He's another member of Rotary. And we also have Charlie Kenner, Boone County Commissioner. Where's Charlie? Welcome, Charlie. I'll just leave the political stuff alone. it's probably better for me, because when I leave, one half's happy and half's not. So we'll just go with that. But let me introduce at this point Gary Wilmoff from Florence Hardware Days and wonderful Wilmoff family that's been very involved in all kinds of things. Gary?
Thank you, Sean. It's my privilege today to introduce to you Sarah Chaffant. And Sarah, would you stand up? Her family and friends here at her table. She was nominated by her principal, Joanne Nesbitt, and she has quite an impressive packet of information. And I'll probably go a little long because there's so many good stories in here. But she had her principal nominated her with a nice letter. She had 5 of her fellow teachers write a nice letter. She had 10 parents write a nice letter. She had 19 statements from her 19 kids in her class. Wrote a statement. So it's quite a packet. So Joanne had the misfortune or fortune of starting her principal in February the 20th of 2020. So 2 weeks before a worldwide pandemic, she had the opportunity of leading her class, her school through that. And Sarah was very instrumental in making that happen. Sarah became a Google certified teacher, and then she taught her fellow teachers how to do that. And Joanne mentioned that without her leadership, that would have been a very dramatic year or two. And Sarah was very instrumental in helping through that. Some of Sarah's accomplishments: 18 years as a teacher at St. Paul's the whole time, academic team coach for 10 years, contest manager when we hosted Governor Cup, co-director of the 8th grade play for 3 years, and she's a 3rd grade teacher, and she's doing the 8th grade play. Booster Fish Fry volunteer, active member of the PTO, co-chair of the Craft Community Fair, teacher representative for the St. Paul School Board, teacher sponsor for the 1st and 3rd grade Christmas play, tutor for academically at-risk students, participating member of the Technology Committee, the Outdoor Classroom Committee, the Calendar Committee, and the Learning Committee and Olympic Day Committee. So a lot of committees, so very impressive. So some of the teachers wrote, I'll just give you some highlights. I could go on for longer than I have, but one of the teachers mentioned that she also was a volunteer for both the Go Pantry and the Northern Kentucky Emergency Shelter. So here's some comments from her fellow teachers. She is always willing to help students when they need help, and even tutor students throughout the year and over the summer. Sarah goes above and beyond to establish a positive relationship with the families she works with. From wearing her themed outfits, I like to hear maybe about the themed outfits. For wearing her themed outfits to give almost every student a nickname, she radiates fun and a great atmosphere for learning. Now, this is from one of her fellow students, teachers, who also happens to be here today, from Mrs. Kelly. So here's what Mrs. Kelly has to say about her fellow teacher. She will not think twice about staying long after the dismissal bell to make sure that the next day's lesson and activities are prepared for her students. She has an infectious energy about her that makes others want to work with her because they know they will have fun, gain confidence, and make something great happen. Sarah is many things: first-rate teacher, a loving mother to 2 amazing boys, and a fierce friend. She has all the signs of being a true leader. She inspires, listens, and draws out the best in others. It is a joy to work with her, and it is an absolute privilege that I get to call her my best friend. So here's some letters from some comments from the parents. And again, 10 different parents wrote really nice letters. This is from a parent who had a child that had a sensory processing disorder. And a lot of that, when the fart drill happened, it was quite emotional for this child. And Sarah went above and beyond it to make sure that wasn't a bad day for that student. She also, with the same student, kept touch with Jacob's occupational therapist from Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And I says, I just want her to know that she is the definition of a wonderful teacher, a true gem to students and parents both. Here's an interesting comment that how many third grade teachers are invited to a former student's wedding years after they have left third grade. So someone getting married invites their third grade teacher to their wedding. And that I don't think happens very often. Sarah Chaffont is a master relationship builder. Each and every student who enters Mrs. Chaffont's classroom is seen, heard, loved, and celebrated for being them. She makes each student feel special, from the straight A student to the behaviorally challenged student, and they leave her classroom more confident in themselves and believing that they can be anything that they want because Mrs. Chaffont believes in them. Again, I go on for much longer than we have, but here's a letter from twin moms, and has Mrs. Chaffont for her teacher, and she starts with they are both emotional and anxious. So you got twins in a classroom, and the mom has to deal with this. As a twin mom, I get twice the emotions, feelings, and everything at once. But this year with school, it's been so much better, and it has been such a relief that I honestly never thought I would get. Mrs. Chaffont loves these kids. They trust her and know that she is 1,000% on their team and just wants them to succeed. She is a person who has such a lovely spirit, a love for teaching, and a loving heart. She makes learning fun and makes each student feel special. And I'm leaving out a lot of things here. First off, when I mentioned to my girls that Mrs. Chaffont was being nominated for an award, they were so excited. When you ask them about their favorite teacher at St. Paul, without hesitation, they explain Mrs. Chaffont. I find this particularly interesting because one, they have not been in her class for 3 to 5 years, and two, they rarely agree on anything. A couple comments from her students. And again, I've left off 4 or 5 parents' letters, and they're worth reading, but we're just going to run out of time. So during a development day, I guess whoever was doing a teacher development day had her students write a 1 sentence about what they thought of their teacher. She is funny, loves Harry Potter, and she is nice. She is nice. She likes basketball. She's my mom. She's nice and she likes dogs. She is good at teaching and she loves her students. She is not as strict as other teachers. I like those kind of teachers too. I don't have to admit. She is nice and she is smart and she is the best teacher I've ever had at St. Paul's. Now this is the longest one, and you can probably might guess who this one. She's so awesome, so cool, and really nice and super sweet. I love her so much. She's the best teacher ever, and she never gives up. And she's really smart and amazing. She's so pretty too. Love you, Grace. That was from Grace. So just a closing comment from her principal. Her principal last comment was this. Mrs. Chaffont is a teacher leader who's always willing to do what is best for students in our school. She has a positive energy, is genuine in everything she does, recognizes what needs to be done and steps up to do it. Is well respected by our colleagues, our parent community, and our students, and is pleasant to be around. She is an extreme exemplary model of service above self and would be honored to be recognized as the 2022 Florence Rotary Teacher of the Year. So at this point, I would like to introduce Dennis McAvoy to come up and present.
Thanks, Bear.
Thanks.
Got prizes and gifts. We would love to have you join us right up here. Boy, I tell you, every year you hear these compliments, you hear all these accolades, and it's got to be touching to you. It really does, because everything that I have seen throughout the years, it's magnified when you meet the individual themselves, because you know they're not overblowing it, because it's actual. So on behalf of the Florence Rotary Club, we'd like to give you this plaque, which will be for you to have, and your name will be on our plaque for all the past teachers, and you'll be part of the club, so to speak. And we couldn't be prouder to have you with us.
Thank you.
Okay. Peter, where's Peter? There he is. Peter's got something even a little more valuable. Peter's with her.
Good morning. Congratulations on behalf of Heritage Bank. I'd like to
Thank you.
present you with this check, and this is the real check, and here's the one for the picture. I guess. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you have anything to say, Michelle? You know, it's always surprising to me how the teachers never have anything to say usually, you know. That wasn't what I had when I was growing up, but that kind of shows how humble they are. So thanks again for everything you do for us.
At this time, Gary Greiser, would you come up and
Whoa, 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 whoa.
How about that likeness there? Touch lower. Now they'll hang that at school for a while, but after that, I think your bedroom or something like that.
Lauren Jane is an English teacher at Cooper High School. Kudos to the Cooper Lady Jags. They made it to the Sweet 16 of the state basketball tournament this year, so congratulations on that. Lauren is a graduate of Loudoun Valley High School in Purcellville, Virginia, and she tells me that the Titans film was created in that area. She holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from University of Kentucky, has a Master of Arts in Education from University of Kentucky, has 5 years of teaching experience, 2 of them at Lloyd High School and in her 3rd year at Cooper. Would you stand and let us recognize you? Her partner of 14 years is John Yochsheimer. Did I say that right, John? Would you stand, John? He's here today. He was also her nominator, very smart man, obviously. And they make their home in Florence. Also with her are her parents, Ed and Belinda Jane, who are Hoosiers. We're glad to have you all here today as well. Also, we have Mike Wilson, her principal. Mike, would you stand and let us see who you are? And Melinda Brooks. Melinda Brooks, would you stand also, as she is the assistant principal who evaluates. Her community involvement is done in conjunction with her students' projects, and she is particularly involved with master provisions. I want to tell you briefly about 3 projects that Lauren has instituted at Cooper. Well, the first one is a book project for the senior English classes. And she perceived a need for the students to read more nonfiction books that help students work on themselves. So Ms. Jane created an Amazon wish list for nonfiction self-help books and asked family and friends to buy a book that they wish they could have read as a graduating high school student. She received 55 books, and the students are now reading and creating presentations to share with their classmates. And this is her first year to teach seniors. The second project, she is sponsor of the National Honor Society at Cooper. This is her 2nd year as sponsor of the National Honor Society.
She has created and implemented multiple service projects, such as cleaning the local parks, writing encouraging cards for local hospitals during the pandemic, creating inspirational messages to tornado victims in Mayfield, Kentucky, Valentine's Day craft directions for the Long Branch Elementary School, and she constantly finds ways to motivate her students to look for needs and to provide help. The last one is called Adulting 101. And every Friday, she creates activities that focus on topics that students will need when they graduate from high school. Topics have included filing taxes, budgeting, purchasing groceries, community service opportunities, and new this year is leasing or purchasing a car. For Halloween, she did something unique. She created compliment trick or treating, where the students wrote a compliment for every classmate and gave the compliments to each other. The students loved it. She did something similar for Valentine's Day, and she knows that these students can do anything. She just wants to ensure that they have the tools to get there. Service above self is the Rotary International motto. And I'm pleased to introduce a teacher right here in our community who lives out and teaches and practices this every day. Please join me in congratulating one of our finest teachers, Lauren James. Dennis and Peter, come on up with the goodies.
Yeah, we got the goodies here. Once again, it's an extreme pleasure on my behalf and the Rotary Club to be able to present you with this. And I hope every time you see it, you'll be able to think that not only what you've contributed to the community, but how much you mean to our club, the quality you present. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dennis, Peter?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Lauren, on behalf of Heritage Bank, I wish you congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Oh, great. Okay.
Dennis, why don't you slide in there? Come on, buddy. All right. Barb, why don't you slide in?
Slide.
There you go.
Slide.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome to say anything if you would like to say anything. Or love the band.
Oh, we got the right name.
Yeah, that helps.
And the right mix. That's
Yeah,
good.
there you go.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dennis, you're up next.
All righty.
This is a one-man show for you.
Yeah, this is one of the, as a club, have a lot of different events go on throughout the year, but this is one of the favorite ones for me. My youngest daughter is a school teacher at IHM, and I really have come to appreciate the value that teachers present to not only that particular school, but to our whole community. So on behalf of all the moms and dads out here who kind of nurtured them in this direction, thank you so much. It is my, and I tell you, when it comes to teachers, it's a tough occupation because you're constantly having to be prepared, but you also have to answer a lot of difficult questions, which reminds me of a story. Albert Einstein, everybody knows or remembers Albert Einstein, right? He was in a car driven by his driver, who he had had for many years. And they were on their way to a convention for him to speak. And he told the driver, he said, you know, this is my passion, my love, but I'm getting a little tired of this. I've probably had 300, 400, 500 speeches, and they're basically the same thing over and over and over. He said, I'm just getting so tired and bored with it. And the driver, who ironically looked very much like Albert Einstein, said, you know, I can understand where you're coming from because I've sat in on almost every one of your speeches. And he said, it is kind of boring. And he said, matter of fact, I think I could present it myself. I've heard it so many times. And Einstein said, that's an idea. That's a good idea. Let's switch. So when they arrived at the convention center, they went in the back room and Einstein put the driver's suit on and the driver put Einstein's suit on. And they went out, the driver went up to the podium and started the presentation, and Einstein sat in the audience in the driver's seat. And that driver was just going on and on, perfect, just like Einstein. Well, there happened to be a scientist sitting in the middle of this, in the audience, and he wanted to kind of impress the rest of the audience. So he had this real difficult question. And he jumps right up in the middle of the presentation that the driver was giving and says, I've got a question for you. And it was an extremely complicated, difficult question. And all the audience was sitting there, they're just kind of waiting. What's Einstein's response to this going to be? And that driver stepped up to the microphone and pushed his glasses down. And he said, sir, that is the easiest question I've ever heard. So easy, I'm going to let my driver answer it. But I'm sure teachers constantly have that type of a situation in front of them where they're constantly proving themselves. And this little package here is all about Tara Kelly, and it's impressive. I've been doing this a long time, and all the teachers that are here today, they had similar, I'm sure, packages. Package I had here, it blows you away. And time restraints, you can't go over everything. All I can tell you is the basic theme for all these letters and all these different acknowledgements of gratitude by people is that says she is an exceptionally caring person who continually displays her dedication and love for her students, her co-workers, and her school. We are very, very, very lucky to have crossed paths with her. And that kind of says it all. The qualifications she has, starting with an interim, acting as an interim principal at St. Paul School. Her co-workers just can't say enough positive, good things. Her former teachers or former students, same way. A loving person who has patience. As a second grade teacher, you have to have patience. But a loving person who is thinking about the betterment of not only the individual students, but the entire school. She sat in a dunking booth. Now that's pretty impressive too, to sit in a dunking booth. But every time I read these type of acknowledgements that come with the nominations, it does me so much good because it recharges my battery to reaffirm how many good people, how many competent people there are in our world. So on behalf of the Florence Rotary Club, we would definitely like to acknowledge Tara Kelly as being one of our Teachers of the Year. Tara, come on up.
Double check that
Oh, that's good.
one.
Thank you. All right, here is your check, Peter. Get in there, get in there. And our banner here, our banner. We have the right picture. Oh, yeah.
A little lower than that. Right there.
Got it.
Thank you. Hey. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's introduce Rhonda Chisenhall. Rhonda, you want to come up for our next presentation? Everybody give her a warm welcome.
Shorter than everyone else. Okay, I have the distinct pleasure of recognizing Michelle Rowland as one of the Florence Rotary Teacher of the Year recipients over here at Open Back's table. Yes. So Michelle is a third grade teacher at Erpenbeck Elementary. And as I read through the nomination letters submitted by Michelle's fellow teachers and read the comments of some of her students, I could tell that she is truly a special teacher, a special coworker, and a mentor. Truly one of those 1 in a million kind of teachers. Words that were used to describe her included Wonder Woman and a living, breathing Energizer bunny. Michelle has a true love and passion for teaching, and that love is infectious to all around her students, the parents, and other teachers. She is called a favorite teacher not only by current students, but also by students who haven't been in her classroom for many years. They've gone on, had lots of other teachers, but still call her their favorite teacher. She has the ability to make a lasting impact in the lives of her students. And one story that shows how Michelle makes a lifelong difference in the lives of her students is a story that I read in one of her nomination letters about a shy third grader who would not even participate in gym class. Michelle gave her confidence and made her feel important, so much so that she came out of her shell and started singing solos in the school plays. And that confidence is a gift that Michelle has given that child that will last a lifetime for that student. Now, I consider teaching to be one of the most important jobs there is. Teachers are tasked with shaping and molding the minds of the next generation, our future leaders and the future of our country. And Michelle Rowland is doing that in such a creative way. Through the letters, I read about Titanic Day, where students researched the people on board the Titanic, then came to school dressed as their passenger and reenacted the last day of the voyage, complete with dinner on board the Titanic. Michelle found a way to bring together history, reading, writing, science, and math in a lesson that was fun for the students and one that they probably will never forget. Some other creative activities that I read about that Michelle does with her students to get them to participate includes Idiom Day. So imagine going to school and walking down the hallway and seeing students dressed up to illustrate raining cats and dogs, 2 peas in a pod, or cutting corners. She has farm field trips, wax museum day, Starbucks to get students excited about reading, an egg drop challenge to help students during testing week. They do Alex's lemonade stand. So imagine third graders doing market research, creating a marketing plan and a sales plan and implementing that. And my background is marketing. So as a marketing professional, that sounds like an awesome time at school. She even persuaded fellow teachers to dress up as the testing ladies, each representing something that the students needed to remember when writing their open response answers. So reading about all these fun lessons left me wishing that Michelle had been my third grade teacher, probably way too long ago for Michelle to be my teacher. And it's no surprise that she's the third grade team leader, helping other teachers to achieve their greatest potential. When she's not creating all these exciting lesson plans, Michelle can be found not only tutoring students herself, but coordinating all the tutoring services at Erpenbeck. She's also the girls' basketball coordinator, the leader of the nature club. She sits on the site-based decision-making council at times. She runs the summer school program. She's a coordinator for a U14 travel softball team. She's the CCD director at her church, a youth program leader, a parent volunteer at Ryle, and a mom to 3 teenagers. So all I can say is, wow, Michelle is busy. And I think she's probably one of the most fun moms ever. Sounds like if she's as creative at home with her children as in the classroom. Her kids have a great time at home. So as you can see, Michelle Rowland exemplifies the motto, service above self, and she is truly deserving of this award. Michelle, come up.
You better get used to it, girl. All these things you're doing the right way. But on behalf of the Florence Rotary Club, what can I say? You're doing a great job, and we want to recognize it. So thank you for everything you've done, okay?
Thank you. We're doing our house on May stand right now. That's where that money's going. It is, all the money goes to kids with cancer.
Wow.
So, and we raised over $10,000. We've been doing it for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. Here is your little picture, poster. Looks good too. Looks real good.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for everything. Yeah, but are all the principals here, or any principals here? I know they got day jobs, but I would like them to stand up and just be acknowledged and say thank you on behalf of the Florence Rotary Club for everything you did, putting all this together. That's part of the deal. And having good principals at these schools, really, teachers, it's an asset. So thank you all.
All the teachers that were awarded here today, come up here. We have a proclamation from the General Assembly. Representative Ed Mass.
You can hand them out. It's fun to do that.
Thank you for allowing me to come today. This is, I'm a member of Rotary too, and this is one of the most exciting days of the year. I appreciate them giving me the ability to go early before the other people go, because I've got to get to Frankfurt. We convene this afternoon. We have 9 days left. A lot of education issues are on the table, so pay close attention to the Education Committee meeting that will be tomorrow morning, convening at 8 o'clock. As the father of 3 daughters, 2 of them who teach school, and the third one who's the conference planner for the Tennessee School Boards Association, and as the son of 2 parents that were retired educators, certainly education has been in my blood for my entire life. And to see these ladies up here getting these awards, they're well deserved. I will tell you, and I've said this for years, even when I served on the school board with Mr. Carroll, that I believe that teachers are overworked and underpaid. You don't do it for the money, and I know that, but you should be compensated for the value that you bring, because you actually cherish the most valuable resource in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and that's our children. So we appreciate that, and I personally want to thank each of you. This is on behalf of myself, Representative Santoro, and the rest of the caucus for the Kentucky House of Representatives. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And I apologize for speaking out, but we gotta go.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies. Stay in place. All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Judge Executive Gary Moore, who will present the Boone County citations, and it's my distinct honor to introduce Boone County Commissioner Charlie Kenner, and Charlie's going to help us out with Senator John Schickel's note of the awards as well. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Sean. One of the honors we get to do as county judges representing the county commissioners and the fiscal court is to present proclamations. Now, these don't come with get out of jail free cards or any special honors such as that, but it is an honor where we get to make this your day in Boone County. And it's my pleasure to do it. It's long and it reads just like the others, I bet. And so I'm not gonna take up the time of reading it, but it talks about the many accomplishments and great things that we've already been hearing about today. And on behalf of children that graduated from the Boone County system, grandchildren that you all are working with now, thank you as a representative for all Boone County and for all of you today. So I'd like to present these.
Do I have you in the right order? I thought so. Hey, I got it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Kendall texted me, she said, congratulations.
Oh, sorry.
Charlie, why don't you stand up? There we go. Thank you.
All right, stay there, ladies.
Okay. Commissioner Center, and I'm going to be able to give these awards away for State Senator John Schickel, who couldn't be with us. All 4 of these fine teachers are getting awards to be Kentucky Colonels, and we're real proud of that. And also the Kentucky General Assembly State Senate, through John Schickel, is getting the State Senate awards as well. We're very proud of them. These are 4 fine people, and they make community like Boone County such a great place. My 4 kids had great teachers too, and they all had doctorates, and put us all to shame. So good for the kids. Thank you so much. Great.
Heavy hardware then. I need a truck to get home.
Thank you.
Wayne's our club president. Snap a photo.
Perfect. Thank you.
If any of the teachers and their guests want to use photos afterwards, and we have all your hardware here, so you can use whatever you want to take pictures. But thank you so much for coming today, and thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone that came out today. You are now part of Rotary International. And this quote sums up what Rotary International is all about. Rotary is a global network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers who see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Thank you for everyone that attended, and congratulations again to all our teachers. Thank you.